Hi everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. This is the 2023 version of the Honda HRV. Fully redesigned and in its second generation. Is it the best subcompact crossover on the market? We're going to take a full look at this fully redesigned model. This particular model is the LX. So obviously there are higher trim levels, but you know what? There are higher prices as well. This could be very well the best bang for your buck, but you do get a lot more than you did in the previous generation. Overall size, how much has that changed? Well, the wheelbase, which is measured from the center of one tire to the center of the other, and if you don't believe me, look that up, because there's some people who don't know, that increases by 1.7 inches. The big increase is going to be bumper to bumper with overall length 9.4 inches, a pretty good increase there. So let's take a look at exactly what you get. This model is modern steel metallic. It has gray interior, and as you can see, that means that it's not just one color. It looks very nice. One of the common trends for 2023 with most newly redesigned Hondas is they are more boxed off, more kind of a squared off look. In this case, even though you somewhat to a degree have that, it really is a little more rounded as well. So some very nice body lines on this particular model. As far as looking from the front end, you do have the fully redesigned headlights. Everything here is going to be LED. The LED daytime running lights, the LED headlights, and a lot of people have been saying that the front end of this newly redesigned HRV looks like something else that starts at a far greater price. Tell me what you think that is down in the comment section. Some of you already know. Here is what the remote looks like for 2023, very similar to other models that we're going to see, other vehicles that have a similar remote. Now, it does not have a remote start here, but I don't know if that's that big of a deal to most people. We're going to have the power adjustable side view mirrors that are manually folding. Turn signal indicators not built in. I don't know if that's that big of a deal. Now, this is the LX trim level, so you're not going to have things such as roof rails up here. No sunroof. For me, that's good. I'm not worried about a sunroof. And it's actually right here. I often call this a rear roof spoiler. It's called a tailgate spoiler. I believe that's what Honda calls it. And that's going to allow air to flow over this rear window. It has a nice little bit of an angle to it, kind of a circular look of sorts. And things are finished off by the LED taillights, the HRV logo, and I didn't say it earlier in the video, but if you want to know more about this particular model or any other, check out the Holmes Honda website. I've got a link down in the description of the video. And under the hood of this front-wheel drive model, all-wheel drive is available. Under the hood of the front-wheel drive HRV we're looking at today is the 2-liter 4-cylinder. It makes 158 horsepower, 138 pounds-feet of torque, and listen carefully. It's mated to a very well-behaved and improved CVT. Don't knock it until you drive it. It is better. I know a lot of people don't like those CVTs, but it is what it is in this particular case. How about those all-important MPGs? 26 city, 32 highway, 28 combined, and 3.6 gallons of gas is what Honda says you should use per every 100 miles you drive. And within the confines of the rear cargo area, you will find 24 up to 55 cubic feet of maximum cargo capacity. We do have the lighting here on each side, so that's very helpful where that is concerned. 12-volt power outlet, and I don't know that I can do it one-handed, but for those of you who aren't happy about the CVT, good news, something to make up for that. No tire repair kit here. You do have a spare tire located underneath the floor. If you want to maximize cargo capacity, pull on that release, and you can fold down not only this side, but both sides of the seats. And taking a look into the rear seating area, a little bit more of a in-depth look than what we did earlier. If you push down right here, that feels like a really uncomfortable armrest, but if you put your arm on there, it doesn't feel so uncomfortable. Now, you could fit a good size bottle right there, but that's about it as far as the door bin goes. The one thing I wish Honda had not done away with, I think this is probably going to be more of an issue than the CVT for some people, is the fact that the magic rear seats are no longer here. Will Honda add that in the future, add it back in? I hope so. I know a lot of you do. So that's not here anymore, unfortunately. But we do have a nice amount of room back here for rear seat passengers. In fact, quite a bit for an SUV of this size. I've got a little bit of space above my head at 5'10". Now here on the LX trim level, no, you don't have connectivity and you don't have air conditioning vents back here. I don't know if that's that big of a deal in an interior of this particular size, but it is comfortable back here. We have kind of a common Honda thing. You only have the one rear seat pocket, but at least it's here. I'm looking in through the front passenger door. We're gonna have a little bit larger door bin right here. So for those who like large door bins, well, there you go. That's where you need to be, is be in the passenger seat. And a little bit softer armrest as well, even though when I put my arm on there, I really can't tell the difference. But if you use the poke test as if you're testing for the doneness of a steak, it does feel a little bit more soft. Manually adjustable passenger seat. And so if you're wondering about that, well, yep, there you go. For this price point, probably not a big surprise. And there is the glove box. You've got a lot of space in there for as many gloves as you want. And most likely, you probably already know this, but this is based on the same platform as of that of the 11th generation of the Honda Civics. You're going to see a lot of similarities in design and functionality, but one thing that I really like here is the small pass-through. Now, if you're looking for USB connectivity, there is a decent amount up here. In fact, you have one right there, and then you have one here and another on the other side over there in the nice pass-through here. I'm not going to show what I like to put there because YouTube might demonetize this video. And taking a look in through the driver's side door, I probably don't have to tell you too much about what is right here. I think you already know all about that. But if you wanted to attempt a front-wheel drive burnout with 158 horsepower, well, you can turn your traction control off and give it a shot. You do have the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. Just drop that lever right there. And we'll hop on inside and take a look at what we have. Obviously, push button start right here, and the digital instrument cluster. Very effective, yet very simple. It does a great job. So we can hit the home button right there, hit it again, and then we can use the scroll wheel right here to go through quite a bit of information. There we go. As far as what's there, we're not going to touch on every single little thing, but you can see what's here. And you have the digital instrument cluster with the speedometer up there, the analog and the digital speedometer. So depending on which one you like, well, you can focus on that one. And then obviously, as is typical with Honda, you control the lighting of the vehicle right here. Also the blinkers right there. Some of you might or might not know what I'm talking about when I say blinkers. I can tell when I drive around you on the road whether you do or not. Right here we can control something I can't say anything sarcastic about, which is going to be the front and rear window wiper functionality. And in this case, we have the 7-inch touch screen, a very simple system to use. You can obviously pair your phone and do all that good stuff here. So a very simple system to use. You can see how well the cup fits down here. And you have your single zone climate control. What do you think? Would you rather have dual zone here? Maybe air conditioning vents in the rear? I'm always curious to know what you think about that. But I know one thing that a lot of you are likely going to be in favor of, which is going to be what we have right here. It is not a push button shifter, the traditional style shifter. That's good. You're going to have your driving mode selector right here. What are our driving modes? Normal, Econ, and we're going to have snow as well. In fact, you can also go all the way down here to drive, or you can go to S, which is going to be your sport mode. And then we have hill start assist. That's good when you only have 158 horsepower. You might need that sometime. The power parking brake and brake hold mode, that can come in handy in heavy traffic. And then the center console, it's a decent size for what this vehicle is. Not too terribly bad, but a very nice look overall. But a lot of the time in an SUV of this size, the ride is not always the smoothest. I don't know, a lot of vehicles like this, maybe not the best on wind noise and road noise. Well, let's get out on the road and see what it's like. Okay, we're out on the road for our test drive. And as promised, I'm going to give you a road noise test. I'm going to get around this Odyssey real quick up here because they're not quite driving the speed limit. I'm going to be driving 65 miles per hour through this area, but I want to get over in the the right-hand lane. I'm in the left-hand lane now, yes. I know that. You can make fun of me for missing that, but anyway. Now we're in the right-hand lane, and I'm just going to be quiet and let you listen. So hopefully that's a long enough sound clip of me not talking for you to hear the road noise. The wind noise is quite minimal. You pick up a decent amount of road noise, but it's not terribly bad, at least in my personal opinion, based on driving this road quite regularly. It is an extremely rough road. It's so rough that that van can't hardly stay in his lane. Yes, I know, that's probably not the issue, but we're gonna go ahead and go around this guy before he decides he wants to come a little further over without paying attention. But considering the normal experience of driving this road of what I'm used to, number one, the road noise isn't horrible. Could it improve? Yeah, it could. The ride quality is also good. I've driven many other vehicles that are the same size as this HRV on this road in this lane, and I can tell you that it's soaking up the bumps better than most. So a very enjoyable vehicle to drive. So tell me what you think. Is the 2023 version of the Honda HRV, being that this obviously isn't the highest trim level, but it's also not the highest price, is it the ultimate subcompact crossover? I'm always curious to know what your thoughts are and why you answer the way that you do. Gotta say a special thanks to my friends here at Holmes Honda for loaning me this HRV LX for the day. Let's get that correct, the LX HRV for the day. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to take the time to watch and give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and would like to learn about other vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.